All right, a lot of people are researching about where they maybe want to live when they move down to Florida, or if they move down to Florida, what coast do you prefer? Now, there are pros and cons to the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic Coast, and we're going to kind of go through all of those. I have lived in both areas, and I'm going to give you my perspective on that up next, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Living in Palm Coast channel. My name is Bill Bishop. I'm a realtor here in Palm Coast, Florida. But really the purpose of this channel is to tell you a little bit about Florida in general. And I lived in both the Gulf side and the Atlantic side, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of those, and we're going to cover a few of those areas. Water temperature, fishing, all those types of things, the climate. And we're going to kind of review a little bit about all those types of issues that people are asking themselves when they're trying to move down here, when they're thinking about moving down here. Do I want to live on the Atlantic coast or the Gulf Coast? They're two very distinct feels as to both sides, and we're going to talk about that today. And if you're thinking about moving down to this Palm Coast area, again, my name is Bill Bishop. I'm a realtor down here in Palm Coast. Love to talk to people. We're talking to people all the time about this hidden gem in Florida. And we're located about midway between Daytona Beach and St. Augustine, Florida. We're right on the coast, have 19 miles of beautiful beaches, and a lot of people don't even know we're here. A lot of people in Florida don't even know that Palm Coast is here, but we're kind of a hidden gem here in Florida. So if that's the case and you want to check us out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We have all of our contact information is in the description box below as well. So let's get off on our topics here. Let's get to our topics, I should say. First of all, I was doing a little bit of research about the water temperature. For those of you who are going to be living on the coast and are going to be enjoying the ocean, I think you want to know, how cold is the ocean when I go in? Well, I pulled up some statistics and I started to look at them. And this is just the average yearly water temperature I got for the Fort Myers area, which is pretty far south than Palm Coast is. Today, the water temperature in Palm Coast, I just checked today, and it is 79 degrees. So it's August, around the mid-August of 22, and the water temperatures are 79. And if I looked on the graph for Fort Myers, which is farther south and on the Gulf side, their average temperature for the month of August is around 85 degrees. The average temps on the Atlantic or the Gulf side, actually the Gulf side during the winter months, I'm seeing here, at least down in like I said, down the Fort Myers area vary. So in the Fort Myers area, the average temperature is around 66 to 67 degrees, and then on the Atlantic side it's about 4 or 5 degrees warmer. So it looks on average that during the summer the Gulf side gets a little bit warmer, and during the winter months, January, February, December, the Atlantic side is actually warmer. So who knew? I would have thought the Gulf side was warmer than the Atlantic side all the time, just because it seems like there's more ocean. And my grandfather used to say that Gulf side is like a bathtub, but that's what he thought. He was kind of old school. He liked the Gulf. He liked to get out on the Gulf Stream. That leads us into our next topic, which is fishing. So the one thing that you do have when you're on the Gulf side, it's about 5 miles out. You get to go on in the Gulf Stream, and that's where you catch all the big game fish. And it's just, I remember when I was a kid going out in the Gulf Stream, and you would go, and there'd be like this green water pretty much, and then you would hit the Gulf Stream, and it would just turn bright blue. And you knew you were you could just tell the difference in the color of the water, which was amazing. So that's a really cool thing to have over on the Gulf side. And then on the Atlantic side, we have the Intercoastal Waterway, which is just a real haven for fishermen, because you get access to the estuaries, and the Intercoastal Waterway goes all the way up down the coast on the Atlantic coast. You can go out on the ocean, and I see plenty of fishing boats out fishing out out on Palm Coast, out on the coast of Palm Coast, and I'm sure there is good fishing out on the Atlantic side. And I'm sure there's an ongoing debate about what is the better fishing on the Atlantic or the Gulf side. I don't know the answer to that question, but I know that there is really good fishing on the Atlantic side, and probably just as good as the Gulf side. Now, some people will say that the Gulf is better, but I suppose you're going to probably have that debate till forever. So, anyway. The climate, the average temperature is not going to be much different than the Gulf. Storms, hurricanes, things like that, they tend to kind of formulate and form in that Gulf area. They also form obviously out in the Atlantic Ocean as well. So don't give me any comments about, well, they never come. No, they form all over, and if you live in the state of Florida, you're probably going to experience a hurricane if you've lived here for any period of time. I've been through 2 or 3, 4 of them maybe, and that's just something you are going to experience if you live here full time. Here's one thing I will say, in being in Palm Coast, is that during the winter months, all the weather seems to come from the northeast, so you do get a lot. It seems like it's a lot colder here because you get these big northeaster storms that come down and just hit you pretty hard. And it's not like it gets super cold or anything. It gets, if we get in the 50s here in Palm Coast during the winter months, we consider it really cold. So anyway, I know it's a little bit warmer over in the Gulf, on the Gulf side during those winter months, and especially down really where the majority of the population is on the Gulf side, which is down in Tampa and then Bonita Springs. And really the most populous side of both of these is the Atlantic side. We have Miami, which is probably our biggest metropolitan area in Florida, and that encompasses all of Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach, and all that big metropolitan area down there is definitely the biggest. That would be considered the Atlantic side. And then you come up, you have Daytona Beach, and then you have Jacksonville, and those are 3 pretty good sized metropolitan areas. The biggest metropolitan area over on the other side is Tampa. As far as big cities, the Atlantic side's going to have many more of those bigger cities, if that even matters. Now, one of the things that do occur on the Gulf side that a lot of people have heard of, and that is red tides. Now, they occur all over Florida, but really the ones where it kills a lot of fish seem to happen over on the Gulf side. Now, to have a red tide, it's some sort of organism. It's a naturally occurring organism, and apparently it does grow more when there's like pollution and crap in the water, fertilizer, things like that. That's what they say. Anyway, it is naturally occurring, and you do hear from time to time, that there's been a major red tide over, and it seems to always happen on the Gulf side, and it kills a lot of fish. It doesn't hurt people really. It can cause some skin irritations and things like that, but for the most part, it's it's pretty tame. Anyway, that's sort of the Gulf versus the Atlantic. We never have in Palm Coast, at least up for this far north, we don't have any kind of red tides or anything like that. So you don't have to worry about that. But that's sort of the difference with regards to that topic. Traffic, congestion, you know, there's traffic and congestion everywhere in Florida during the tourist season. You know, the only thing I can really compare it to is to Palm Coast, and that I can personally compare it to is there was a road down in Fort Myers, I think it was 41 or something like that, but it was just packed all the time, and this was 25 years ago. And you know, I'm sure it's pretty much the same now. You know, we're getting a little bit more traffic here in you know, northeast Florida, Palm Coast. A lot of people are discovering Palm Coast and moving here. And again, if you're interested in checking out the area and would like to talk to somebody about, you know, what's going on, give us a call, shoot us a text, you know, and we'd be happy to visit with you about that. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, people moving here and the traffic. The traffic is getting bad, but really in comparison to some of the other metropolitan and bigger areas, Palm Coast being about 100,000 people or so, you know, our traffic is getting a little worse, and the people who've lived here for quite a while will tell me that it is getting worse, and they really mean it. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so the one big difference in the Gulf versus the Atlantic side is the Gulf doesn't have surfing, and it never will have surfing. There's very few wave activities. The one great thing about and so surfing really is all on the Atlantic side. As a matter of fact, I think I was even reading that one of the biggest surfers is Kelly Slater. He has a surf ranch here in Florida, and I think he's starting it up down in West Palm Beach or Palm Beach somewhere. But it's basically, it creates an artificial surf and has this huge locomotive, goes through the water, creates this amazing wave, perfect wave every time. And he's starting that up. But he's a like world-renowned surfer. He surfed all through the Atlantic coast. We have some great surfing up here in Palm Coast. Some beautiful areas to surf. You know, we have Ron John's sports shop, the big mega sports shop over here. You'll see the billboards everywhere when you come down here. Anyway, that is, you know, that's kind of a big difference. Now, the one thing on the other side is they have some of the most beautiful, finest white sand beaches in the world. That's why they call, like, the Panhandle in Destin, Florida, the Emerald Coast, because the water is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like, you know, you're in the Caribbean. It's that clear, and then the sandy beaches are beautiful and pristine. So our beaches on the Atlantic side, they vary. Like even in the 19 miles of beaches that we have here in Palm Coast, now you can go up to Matanzas Inlet, and you could have like it could be, depending on the day even, you could have, you know, kind of a finer sand, and then sometimes you'll walk on some other parts of Palm Coast and there'll be a lot of crushed shells, and then some parts of Palm Coast you'll have sort of nice white sand. So it really varies, unlike kind of the Gulf side, which just really, to be honest, has some of the most beautiful white sand beaches. You know, it's more like the Caribbean over there. Over here, you know, you have the surf, you have a lot more activity, I guess, as far as, you know, the ocean is concerned. Anyway, that's kind of... All right, the little known fact that I wanted to visit with you about, and one of the things I kind of observed, because when we had, our family had a place over on the Gulf in Sanibel Island and Fort Myers. I had spent some time over there, but it seemed like that Midwesterners typically gravitate towards the Gulf side. And people who move here from, say, like New York and Philadelphia and all those eastern states tend to want to move on the Atlantic side. And it makes perfect sense, to be honest. I mean, you know, they're more familiar with the Atlantic Ocean, and they kind of like that being on the Atlantic, and Midwesterners aren't familiar with any ocean. So I wanted to wrap this up. Thanks again for tuning in, and again, if you're interested in checking out the area, just give us a call. We'd love to visit with you about this little hidden gem, Palm Coast, Florida. Until next time, we'll see you later.